Hey everyone, hope we're all good. We've got a game here today. It's pretty much a done thing, to be honest with you. You'll see why very soon. I almost didn't bring it back for this, but I thought, no, I will, because the actual league game we've got is still kind of important. It might be easier than it looks on paper, but we'll see. It's a Europa League second round, second leg against Wolfsburg, and then we've got a game against Arsenal in the league away at the Emirates. Let's go. But before we take a look at the video, everyone, if you want to do us a massive favour, drop a like down below, leave a comment down at the bottom there, and while you're there, if you're enjoying the videos, why not ring the little subscribe button, get the notifications coming through, so that when we get all these episodes, because it's going to start getting to the nitty gritty at the end of the season, I think, you don't miss out. Now I mentioned that this second leg was pretty much a done thing, and that is because we thought we dominated Lyon at home. We absolutely just swamped and suffocated Wolfsburg. They didn't have a single shot on target all game. But despite that, we were only 2-0 up until the 90th minute when we kind of went mad and scored 3 goals in 3 minutes. The first goal came through Vitinha. Pedro Porro, who is having a storming season in his first season for the club, in that wing-back role, whipping in a brilliant ball for Vitinha to slam in from close range. Pedro Porro again, this time from the corner, crossing it in for Ben Godfrey at the far post. And yeah, as I said, we absolutely dominated them. They didn't have a shot on target, but it was only really until the very end of the game when we made it truly comfortable. And that was Vitinha, this time making it 3-0, just under 90 minutes. And I was thinking, great, yeah, that's fine, we'll take that. But we weren't done. Richarlison has just been off with a long injury. He came back in this game, came on as a sub, and Rooney Bargy fed him for us to get a fourth. And I was thinking, oh, amazing. Okay, that's fine. That's even better. But we still weren't done. And it was a very, very similar repeat. This time Rooney Bargy with a first time pass just along the floor, in between the lines, in between the two centre-halves. And Richarlison ran in and absolutely smashed it in to make it 5-0. And this game is dead in the water now. This tie is done. And we actually know who we might be playing in the semi-final as well. Yeah, that's right. We will be playing either Athletic Club or Red Bull Salzburg. Now, I can't remember who is... I think it's... Yeah, Athletic Club literally won the first leg 1-0. So that game is still very much in the balance. Elsewhere, Dortmund, Arsenal, evenly tied. Lazio, Leverkusen, Leverkusen are as much out of it as Wolfsburg are. The only German team who's... Well, 2 German teams supposing with a chance. We've got Gladbach in with a chance against Anderlecht, and we've got Dortmund evenly matched against Arsenal, and Porto just edged the first leg against Napoli, with Sporting drawing 2-2 at Atleti, but that was in Madrid, crucially. What it means, though, is we are rotating quite heavily for this. We are, Bottas Verbruggen's in for his first start of the season. Branthwaite and Ballard are in, and we're playing Samek, who can play literally anywhere along that spine at the back. He's going to play as the libero for us, hopefully use his passing ability to good effect. And then we've got Patterson and Mikolenko on the wing backs. Dele Alli as the BBM for once, just because Tolisso is still not fully fit yet, and Decore could do with the rest. Kraus as the DLP. Anthony Gordon starting as the number 10, with Firmino up front as the target forward, and Troy Smickley-James, or Smichael James, however we're pronouncing that, who's had a really good season in the under-23s. Look at that, 30 goals and 4 assists in, 44 appearances. We're just going to give him a start, and it just basically means that we are able to rest a lot of our big players before a big game against Arsenal at the weekend. And it means we can also use the 5-3-2 quite comfortably, knowing that we're pretty good. We don't need to worry too much because we're not going to lose this tie. But yeah, it's quite nice being able to throw in one of the youngsters who's had, just knocked my mic, everyone, who's had a real standout performance in the under-23s, and it's just nice to give him a chance and to just give him a bit of game time in a big game on the big stage, where even if we lose 1-2-0, at the worst, it doesn't matter. The rest of the squad is good enough, to be fair, and we should be okay, to be honest with you. Wolfsburg have managed what they didn't manage at Goodison, and that is a shot on target. Patterson crosses it in. Firmino hits the bar. Dele whips it back in. Oof, Casteels nearly takes it over his own line there. I can't remember if we get to see... No, we don't get to see the aggregate score there. But Benfica have taken the lead against Sevilla. Leverkusen have got 1 goal back against Lazio. They just need another 5. Another 4. Oh, they have got a second as well. Away from home, so that's what, 6-3 on aggregate there across the tie. It's Omar Richards. Great save by Verbruggen. I'll be quite happy with a 0-0 here. Literally would be more than happy with a 0-0. Because it means that we can rest everyone. All the big guns before we play Arsenal at the weekend. Well in, Delhi. Well away to Samek. Easy save. Easy save. Now, Wolfsburg are playing a 4-4-2. So that should mean on paper that with 3 centre-halves, there should always be a man spare. So really, those 2 strikers should not be getting any joy at the back there. In theory. In theory. Arsenal taking the lead against Dortmund. Arsenal are having a really poor Premier League season. I think they're about 10th. And obviously they will be playing a fairly full-strength team against Dortmund with that tie being evenly balanced. Whereas for us, we have literally been able to rotate the whole squad. With the exception of Mykolenko. And that's because I want Renan fresh to play as the centre-half against Arsenal, because Schlotterbeck has been a little bit out of form lately. Yeah, like I said, I needed to bring it back for this game, but I was thinking that I might as well bring it back for Arsenal, so we might as well just play this game just so we can have a little catch up and a little bit of a chat. One thing I did actually forget to say, by the way, in the last episode when we were touching on transfers, we've actually already got a free signing lined up for the summer, and that is Adam Hložek from Sparta Prague. Yeah, he was his contract was expiring, and we were able to get him for free. Now you might say, oh, but you've already got like enough like forwards, you've already got enough wingers, and yeah, I do, but at the same time he's free, so that means that I can afford, if I wanted to sell like a rotation option like striker or winger, because I've already got a player who can do the same sort of job coming in for nothing. So yeah, it just takes a little bit of the pressure off in the transfer market, that if someone comes in for like Firmino or for don't really want to sell Anthony Gordon, but you know, anyone like Ryan Kent or something, because I do think that, you know, maybe I do need a little bit more depth on the like quality and depth on the wings, because Ryan Kent is good, but he does have an inconsistent trait, and you do see that sometimes he doesn't always perform to his peak ability in games as much as I would like him to. So if a decent bid came in for him and we could make a decent profit on what we bought him for, I wouldn't be averse to letting him go. And that would mean that we could then, okay, that's interesting defending on Cucho Hernandez there. Incredibly interesting defending, as the defence just completely switched off. Who was it to blame? Was it Branthwaite? Branthwaite jogging back. Bear in mind, Branthwaite is actually got the instruction to tightly mark Cucho Hernandez, and he literally just let him run off him. So you're going to get berated for that. Ballard also having a poor game, but that's fine, because I'd rather have a poor game now than you know, we have to play Ben Godfrey, and I'll take off Troy. He's not having a great game, but you know what, he's got some minutes in his legs. And we can take off Mykolenko now. We can take off Mykolenko, please. Thank you. But yeah, the thing that I've got to debate with myself is on the wings is, do we change the tactic? Because obviously with us having Luka in the team, obviously he's very much target forward, whip the ball into the box for him to head it on. Whereas with us playing with inside forwards, obviously we could change him to inverted. That's really poor goalkeeping. We could change them to inverted wingers, but equally that's not really something. That's not really the style with which we play. Because our wingers aren't particularly brilliant at crossing. They're better at like passing and finishing and dribbling. So I would rather, if we can, I'm debating, basically, what I'm trying to say is I'm debating, do we completely change the system and do we go for a more wing-based approach? So rather than going with inside forwards, we sign more out-and-out wingers. So if that's the case, I would be looking at potentially signing someone like, even just someone relatively cheap, who I know I can get for relatively cheap in that position, compared to what other sort of elite wingers might be, and that is Sergio Gomez from Anderlecht, because I think I can get him for anything between 25 and 33 mil. He's really versatile. He can play like as a Metzala, as a winger, as a wing back. But he's got really good set piece delivery and really decent crossing ability. In a tactics test I did with Anderlecht, he performed really, really well, I think, as a complete wing back. But equally, I could play him as a left winger and just have him whipping crosses in for Lorenzo Luca all day, hopefully. Some really quite poor performances from some players in this game, but you know what, I don't mind losing 5-2. Overall, maybe it'll be... That was a terrible, terrible shot from Vitinha. I don't really want to bring anyone else on. Obviously, I made a couple of subs, but I don't really want to make too many because I want as many players to be, you know, fit and avoid injury. That was a lovely, lovely bit of football. And Vitinha really should have scored. Yeah, I'm more than happy to lose 2-0 in this game, though. With the rotation that we did, honestly, getting those extra 3 goals was perfect because it meant that I could literally rest all the big names for this game. That was a very, very risky header from Patterson. What a ball from Verbruggen. Here's Charles. And he hits it, and I think it was closer than they're letting on there. Oh, it looks like Arsenal going through. Yeah, Arsenal, who re-signed Alexis Sanchez from Inter Milan, putting them 3-1 up against Dortmund. Oh yeah, we did make that last sub, didn't we? We brought on Renan. Deli's in, and he smashes it over. Brilliant. It's like Benfica will be going through. Jesse Lingard scoring again. Benfica, who we did play in the semi-final, I think it was last time, who we ended up beating on penalties. A very nervy penalty shootout in a game in which we dominated, and then had the misfortune of having to go to penalties. And with Benfica missing 3, we also then missed 3. And ended up going to sudden death. I haven't seen... Oh, maybe Athletic Club are playing later. Because I was going to say, I've not seen that scoreline. But maybe they're playing at 8. Well done, Samek. That's great defending. That is great defending. Right off the line. I mean, he's only got a 6 match rating. So obviously he's not done that well. But to be fair, none of the defenders, the centre-halves, have done well by all accounts. Branthwaite somehow was a 7.1, even though he was heavily at fault for the first goal. Charles popping up in that number 10 has created all sorts of chances for us. He's been laying them on. And there he wins the ball again. Here's Vitinha. Can we get a little goal back? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Vitinha wins the corner, and that'll be the game, and that is the tie. We'll have this corner, and then that'll be it, I imagine. And that's the game. That is the game. Done and done, everyone. Final whistle. Go through. 5-2 in aggregate. No complaints. So we will be playing Bilbao in the quarter-final. And that is on the 11th, Thursday the 11th of April. What have we got in between now and then? So we're going to play Arsenal today, and then must be... got an international break, maybe, before we play Sheffield United, and then we play Athletic Club, and then we play Wolves. So we've actually got a decent little run to help hopefully keep players fresh for those 2 quarterfinals. Then even then we play Leeds afterwards, who hopefully we could win against. And then it really gets nitty gritty. Man United and then Liverpool back to back. That's going to be tough. Yeah, so we're playing Arsenal next. Now, Arsenal, like I said, are currently sat in 10th. If we look at some of their results, they have, in recent games, we beat them 2-0. I couldn't remember what the score was. We beat them 2-0 in December, and then they won 2 games in the league. And then, as you can see, in fact, look at this. Look at this run from the 27th of January through to the 9th of March. They didn't win a game in the league, and they literally just scrapped past Norwich 1-0. And then they drew 0-0 with United. So I would hope that we've got a good chance of getting over the line here against them. And I think if my maths is correct, it will secure us Champions League football for next season already with 7 games to go. Which would be pretty nice, because at the moment we're currently 22 points clear of 5th. So yeah, if we beat Arsenal and Villa, who are playing Brighton, if they, regardless of what happens in that game, we'll qualify for the Champions League. But obviously, if Villa lose, then we'll probably qualify for the Champions League anyway. So for the game against Arsenal, it's kind of as you would expect. Only real change we've made is Ryan Kent has dropped out for Richarlison. Ryan Kent did have a good game against Leicester, actually, where we won 3-2, only just, but Richarlison has kind of always been our go-to on that left-hand side, and obviously those 2 goals that he got against Wolfsburg showed just how valuable he can be for us. And we're going to go with Luca up front because he's been in good goal-scoring form. I think he scored like 3 in his last 2 in the league. And like I said, Schlotterbeck, who's just been a little bit out of form recently. What did he get? He got a 6.7 against Bournemouth, to be fair. A 6.9 against Leicester. He's just definitely had games recently where he's been getting like sort of 6.4, 6.3s during the game. So that's why I've dropped him out. But maybe I'm being a little bit harsh. But we're going to give Renan a game because I think Renan may well be the future in that left-sided left-back role for us. He's only 21 still. He's got so much potential. He's still got 4.5 star potential. And I think he is the one to build around, to be honest with you. Who is he wanted by? Man United, of course he is. Pedro Porro is wanted by Juve and Barca. Luca is wanted by Leverkusen. Vitinha, who's he wanted by? Dortmund. Anybody else? Gordon, I think Gordon's always wanted. Yeah, Torino of all teams wanting Gordon. You know, don't get me wrong, they obviously recognise class, but it just seems a very rogue move. So yeah, big game here against Arsenal. Villa drew against Brighton, and the assistant was saying before the game that if we win, we guarantee at least qualifying for the Europa League. But maybe it's because Newcastle aren't playing this weekend because they played in the FA Cup, and that's maybe where there's the potential for there to be an element of doubt in that one. But as it stands at the moment, we are 22 points clear of Villa with only 21 points left to play for. So yeah, I'm not sure as to why they're saying, you know, that's guaranteed Champions League, Europa League. Because even if we win, we'll be 24 points clear of Newcastle. Which I suppose if they win their game in hand, theoretically they could still catch us, but unlikely though, unlikely. Good save that from Pickford. I know we're away from home, but, you know, this is a team who have been in real poor form in the league and have just had a massive game against Dortmund where they will have played pretty much their full strength team. In fact, Smith Rowe's just gone off with a knock as well. Rooney. Ooh. Oh, Godfrey, you completely missed that. Duvan Zapata with a lovely finish and completely... Yeah. Godfrey's missed header, as they've said there. Thomas Partey thinking it forward, and Godfrey just completely misses the ball. Less than ideal start there. Oh, come on. Great save from Pickford. I'm going to have to drop the defensive line a little bit, I think. Try and stop those balls coming through. Interesting. Renan at the near post there. Looking at where we could potentially change or tweak this at half time to create a bit more. That's really poor from Mikolenko. Oh, nearly won back by Nico there, and it would have been a great place for us. Obviously, Mikolenko is tied because he did play a fair bit in the week. Oh, great ball from Charles to Pedro Porro. Crosses it to Corey Root. Ah, that would have been a lovely goal as well. Disappointing that. We have brought on Schlotterbeck for Mikolenko, and Schlotterbeck has dropped into the centre half, and Renan has gone out onto the full back on the left hand side. Just basically told the lads, like, you know, show a bit of desire, come on. Well in Renan. Nice. Nice. Lovely bit of football that. Finds Pedro Porro, crosses it in. Unlucky. I think we're going to bring on Ryan Kent. And I think we're going to have to take off Charles. I was going to bring on Vitinha, but Charles is really struggling. This is going to go out with a whimper, this, isn't it, everyone? By the way it's looking anyway. Just try and get the ball into the box a bit more for Lorenzo Luca. Arsenal absolutely dominating in terms of possession. But we are supposedly creating the better quality chances. And more of them as well. Well, that's a great goal, but that is really quite terrible defending. Literally just backed off him and just let him just dribble into the box and line up the shot. That was atrocious. No one got out to him. Look at this. Yeah, that's fine. Come in. Keep going. You've got Schlotterbeck there backing off him. Awful. Absolutely disgraceful. And that gives a good little bit of incentive to Liverpool now. So we played 2 games today and we lost both of them 2-0. That's garbage. Absolutely garbage. We dished out a few fines after that, as you can see. Luca, Bargi got a warning. Pickford, Renan, Godfrey all got fined. And I think did we fine someone else? I can't remember. We may have done. We just threw fines out everywhere. Yeah, we've got a 13-day break now to get ourselves sorted before we play Sheffield United. In the meantime, Liverpool have got to go to Leicester. That could be a tough game. Leicester currently managed by Erik ten Hag. And then Liverpool must have a game in hand somewhere that they're playing. Oh, that'll be because they're playing in the Champions League. That's why they're not playing then. And then when are they going to play their game in hand? They're going to possibly have quite a few games in hand coming up, actually, because they've got FA Cup games. I'm just so on it, like paranoid about Liverpool when they next play, when they play their game in hand. When is it going to be? Who's their game in hand going to be against? Is it then, when they play West Ham? It's the only midweek game I can see coming up in the league that they've got, so it must be then that they're provisionally going to have that game in hand. Home to West Ham. Obviously, by that point, it might not matter too much because they might have already slipped up and we might be fine. But we'll see. We will see, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed the episode, even though it was a bit of a disappointment in terms of the results. But obviously, we're through to the next round of the Europa League. See if we can retain that. I will see you potentially for the second leg against Athletic Club Bilbao. Obviously, if we absolutely walk the first leg, then I may just choose to bring it back for the semi-final. Plus the Man United and Liverpool games. Yeah, I hope that's okay with everyone. I will see you all next time. And yeah, bye for now.